This is SSPTV News, brought to you by Samsung Productions and the Hazleton Standard Speaker.
The story of how some Major League Baseball players help spread the importance of social distancing in the city of Hazleton, next. Hello everyone, I'm Ken Karen. I thank you for your time, and I think we could all use a deep breath, so... Okay, now we're ready for our local information from SSPTV and the Hazleton Standard Speaker. The Department of Health dropped the number of deaths from COVID-19 throughout the state and in our local 3-county area. You can now look up case numbers by zip code at health.pa.gov. According to the Standard Speaker, as of Wednesday, Greater Hazleton was around 1,500 cases of COVID-19. Also, the drive-through COVID-19 testing site located at the Mohegan Sun Arena parking lot in Wilkes-Barre Township is now open to all those living in Northeast Pennsylvania with symptoms of the virus. You need to register a day in advance at health.pa.gov or by calling 1-877-724-3258. Testing is done daily from 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. Pennsylvania is looking at May 8th to start opening up parts of the state, possibly starting with the north central and northwest regions. A county will be considered to be reopened when they have 50 or less new COVID-19 cases per 100,000 residents per day on average for 14 days. There are other factors that the state will look at as well in a region, like is there enough testing for people with symptoms and populations at risk. After looking at all of the data, the state will decide if a region is in the red, yellow, or green phase. Currently, the entire state is in the red phase.
This yellow phase will lift some restrictions, including parts of the business closure order. The phase will continue to limit on things like high-risk activities such as keeping school buildings closed, restricting restaurants to curbside pickup or delivery only, allowing retail to reopen with protections in place for workers and customers, and preventing large social gatherings. And businesses will need to continue to prioritize telework or abide by worker safety guidelines if telework isn't possible. Finally, a region will move to the green phase, which will include lifting the remaining parts of the stay-at-home orders, but still require Pennsylvanians to adhere to CDC and Department of Health guidelines. An example would be to still require universal masking if the CDC and the Department of Health are recommending it when a region reaches this green phase.
On a new Sam Lassand show, former Hazleton Mayor and U.S. Congressman Lou Barletta looks back on his time as mayor and addresses the COVID-19 pandemic in Hazleton. One of the issues in Hazleton, according to Barletta, was a communication barrier with the Spanish-speaking residents of the city. So Barletta teamed up with local attorney Conrad Falvello to help out.
Attorney Falvello had a great idea. He said, why don't you call Joe Madden, see if we could get some of the Latin baseball players to do a message in Spanish and English and see if we, through social media, can get that message out throughout the community. I called Joe. He did it in a day, literally in a day. We turned around some videos, which we gave to the Pennsylvania Department of Health, called and asked if they could partner, as well as Senator Yudichak also offered to get these messages out.
See this new Sam Lassand show with Lou Barletta soon here on SSPTV and SSPTV.com. Imagine trying to make it through this pandemic while wondering where your next meal is coming from. Thankfully, we have some great local food pantries with volunteers still hard at work. Janine Lassand recently spoke with Billie, Shaffer, and Maureen Younger from the Valley Food Pantry.
How can people help? Where do they drop off food, and what is the list of foods that are needed?
Well, as Billie mentioned, last Tuesday and the Tuesday before, we had a drop-off where people could drive up. They would open their trunks and we would just take the food out. We're planning on doing that again, and we're going to post it on Facebook. It probably won't be for maybe another week or two. So we just ask everyone to check Facebook. Also, if they want to donate food, they can donate it to any of the churches down here in the valley.
You said that they can donate to the churches, but the churches are closed. So how does that work? Where do they go to drop off the food?
So if they call ahead and just check, there will be a designated place. Most of the churches down in the valley have a place where you can drop off food, during the year. So I would just say just to have them call ahead of time just to see what churches have hours, like in the morning, for instance.
How has the response been from the community as far as getting the shelves filled, and has the need grown through the pandemic?
The need has grown a bit. We expect to get more families that need to come. And if a family does need to come, if they would please check with a local minister, we would appreciate that. And then they will get hold of us and we can give food out. The response has been great. We've almost been in tears a couple times getting food out of people's trunks. We've gotten food from people that we've never gotten food from before. This community has always been so very helpful to us, and they're really stepping up now. We do not get government subsidies or anything. It's all the community, and that's the way it's been for all these years, and it's really, really working well.
Time now for weather on SSPTV News.
Rain, rain, and more rain. Stay at home. Here's your local forecast from the National Weather Service. Tonight, rain mainly after 8 p.m. with a low of 41 degrees, 100% chance of precipitation. New precipitation amounts between 1/4 and 1/2 inch possible. Then on Friday, rain with a high of 48 degrees, chance of precipitation 100%. New precipitation amounts between 1/4 and 1/2 inch possible. Friday night, 60% chance of precipitation, rain likely before 8 p.m., mostly cloudy, low of 38 degrees. Saturday is partly sunny with a high of 55, but then at night a 70% chance of rain, mainly after 2 a.m., mostly cloudy, low of 40 degrees. Sunday, rain is likely, cloudy with a high of 45, chance of precipitation is 60%, 50% chance of rain at night, mostly cloudy, low of 36. Monday is mostly cloudy with a high of 48, and Monday night partly cloudy with a low of 34 degrees. Another day, another local girls basketball player on the Pennsylvania Sports Riders All-State girls basketball team. Monoy area senior Jordan Carmonic was named to the AA second team. She was on the All-State third team last year. Carmonic's 14 points and 6 rebounds a game helped the Lady Bears to another District 11 AA championship. The team was in the state quarterfinals when the PIAA playoffs were canceled because of the COVID-19 pandemic. Hear more about Carmonic in sports as we talk with her head coach Tom Sheeler. He discusses this year's team and his decision to step down after 6 successful seasons. And next, our Janine Lassant talks with a couple about what it was like having a baby during a pandemic. SSPTV News would like to send sincere condolences to the family and friends of the following. Ruth Rosenstock, 93, formerly of Hazleton. Services are private. The Edward J. Kuhn Funeral Home in West Reading is handling arrangements. You can send condolences at kuhnfuneralhomes.com. Patricia and Gabriel, 71, of Freeland. Services are private. The McHugh-Wilczek Funeral Home in Freeland is assisting the family. Elliot J. Greit, 74, formerly of Hazleton. Services are private. Joseph Michael Esposito, 65, of Hazleton, and Angelica Vargas, 97, of Beaver Meadows. Services are private. The Joseph B. Conahan Funeral Home in Hazleton is assisting the family. For more information on services, go to conahanfuneralhome.com. Today's social news has been brought to you by Harmon Funeral Homes and Crematory. For information, call 570-788-0977 or go to harmonfuneral.com.